just constantly like sniffling now because it's allergy season.
Yeah. I so many people have talked to me about that. I've never had allergies.
It's the worst. I have to like glue my hands to my legs right now because I will itch my eyes.
Really?
It drives me nuts. That's why like I was more than happy to go to Florida for another couple days.
Yeah, there's not much down there.
It's just like a safe space for allergies.
Arizona's similar, I think.
Why is my picture up there?
I don't know. I noticed it the other day. It was from the video that we did on Broadway.
Oh.
When people we would show them machines
Yeah.
to guess the machine, and then your picture was just hidden in there, and that worked out. That was the best part of the video.
I hate that.
Did you watch the video?
I did. I hate that.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, is that your boss? Yeah, it's my boss. Yeah, he's a real asshole, isn't he? Like, yeah, he's
That's
an
your
asshole.
dad.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Did they get consent to use your likeness?
Me?
Yeah.
No, they never do.
No, he signed a contract.
I don't think I did.
It's an employment contract.
No,
he didn't read the fine print.
No, I don't think I did.
He can't ever leave. And we own his cats.
What? I didn't sign that. I don't think I even own my cats. You can't own a cat. A cat just like exists.
How many cats do you have now?
I have 3.
A handful of cats.
It's a fleet.
It's a full.
We qualify for the fleet discount now on our cats.
When I went to go buy a pickup truck, F-150 for the first time,
they asked you if you had a cat or not.
Well, no, I go into the dealership, and it was going to be a company vehicle, so I thought it'd be Ford Fleet. And he asked, "Well, how many pickup trucks are you buying?" I'm like, I need one pickup truck. He's like, and he kind of laughed at me. He's like, Ford Fleet's 15 pickups.
Yeah.
And he was an asshole about it. And after that, I was like, I'm going to qualify for Ford Fleet one day.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will have 15 plus pickup trucks one day. 15 Raptors.
What is the what are the benefits?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like I can almost
vehicles.
qualify for Ford Fleet now.
Buying vehicles is the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah. That's why I have a bunch of them.
After seeing how simple buying a skid steer was, it doesn't need to be that complicated.
Oh, and then buy a skid steer in Germany.
What do you mean?
It's even easier.
Oh, yeah, you can just do it on the internet.
Buy it online.
Yes, I would like 10 skid steers.
Yep.
And they give you a grill coupon.
A what?
They give you a grill coupon.
What do you mean?
A coupon for $100 of grilled meat.
You're kidding me.
No. If you buy a machine online.
We didn't get anything with ours.
With our skid steer?
Yeah.
Yeah, the American cat dealers are lacking in that regard. There's less fine dining coupons associated with machine purchases, which is a real... It was funny how bent out of shape people got, though, when we went to the cat factory.
Oh, yeah, we did get that.
Because, I mean, people were like, yeah, I've bought 20 skid steers and I've never even gotten a hat.
But they didn't ask. I don't think people ask.
You got to play the cards right, man.
They'll take you if you ask. They'll take you to Tanaha if you ask them.
They will. Yeah, it depends. I guess so.
Yeah, I've seen some very small companies go to Tanaha for free.
Salesmen won't really do kind of anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we got a lot because it was prime time to buy a machine. So it's like, either take it or don't.
No, we snuck in just before everything got tight.
Oh, that's right. We bought it before COVID started.
Yes.
Or no, we bought it after COVID. We bought it end of 2020.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But we got it. We ordered it end of 2020, delivered middle of 2021. So it still took plenty of time. Like, there was still a pretty long lead
Now
time.
they don't have anything. Did you see Dirtworks has deer loaders because Thompson couldn't get them?
I did see that.
Yeah.
And I said we've had that similar.
Exactly. Yeah. I was asking Corey what kind of loader he was going to get this week. Or I was asking Alex what kind of loaders they were getting this week, and he's like, "Oh, we're getting deer because Thompson didn't have anything."
Yeah, but they have Thompson skid steers, Thompson telehandlers, Thompson dozers.
And the dozers weren't even. They're not LGP. They have like a forestry package on them.
Yeah, they're little D1s with the ROPS.
That sucks.
With the sweeps.
That is not ideal.
No,
especially for the dirt they're using.
But I feel like the tracks, but the sweeps make no difference on a machine that small. The visibility so
no,
good.
But the fact that they're not LGP sucks.
Do you just want LGP to like keep it
So the skinny tracks, they'll sink into the dirt more, especially if they're shaping like that, because they're constantly putting weird pressures on the machine because of the angles that they're at, so that the weight of the machine isn't always evenly distributed. And so like if they're shaping a jump, all the weight might be like towards the back of the machine. So it sucks because then you're like leaving gouges. And then Tennessee dirt it sucks in general. Some of the worst material I've ever encountered. And not having LGP is probably not super fun for those boys today.
If you're the guy with the dirt for those shows, you must make a killing.
You really don't.
But if you're the only guy,
no.
15 minutes away.
Well, here's the thing. So this is one of the few situations where bringing in dirt from a job site was a thing. So MetLife that they were at last week,
they have a stockpile of dirt.
They have their own dirt.
Oh.
They have their own dirt that they got 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it goes to the same pile and it gets covered up and it gets used for Monster Jam and it gets used for Supercross.
Really?
That's it. It's the same dirt.
But that's in like a very urban area, like to haul in that amount of dirt.
It was like 5 minutes away. Some of them are pretty close.
What do you mean?
The dirt.
Yeah.
They keep it 5 minutes away.
I know, but if they were to go buy dirt on the market.
Oh, yeah, no, that's half of why they do it.
Yes.
That's why they're having so many problems with this one, because it's 20 minutes away.
Yeah. Well,
and they're using a broker for the trucks, and the trucking company has no idea what they need because they've never. I mean, it's been 13 years since they did Supercross here.
Really?
Yeah.
They haven't done it here in the past? Really? I had no idea. I thought it was just an every year thing.
No, I think it was a deal with Titan Stadium, because if you think about it, there's really nowhere else to do it.
No. How many people show up for Super? Is it a big deal?
I'll be curious to see how many people show up for this one, but it's usually like, I think the numbers are like 20 to 50,000.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. It's not as much as a football game. Football games, I think a football game here is like 150.
No.
I thought
a football stadium does not hold 150,000.
How many people are here? How many people does it hold?
Probably like 80,000.
And it's packed.
So
it's half that. That's a lot of people.
And I'm totally guessing right now. I have no idea. Can you look up how much Nissan Stadium?
Jamie, look at it. Pull it up.
Yeah. Pull it up. So that's still quite a few people. But that's so when I was out there. When did they start? Tuesday?
Maybe. Well, it might be less than that. It might if it's 80, 69,143. So if it's
69,000,
that's the capacity.
Nice. Yeah. So
the designers. All right, it'll be 70,000. Let's make that 69,000.
Nice. Yeah, it's usually less than half of the stadium's capacity.
Well, but I went out there dinner time.
Yeah.
After dinner on Tuesday, when they were supposed to be just like almost done, and they had just got the outside completed.
Yeah, Justin called me at like 2, and because he was so stoked to go out there, because I sent him out there to get video, and he called me at 2. He's like, "Dude, this sucks so bad." I'm like, whoa, what happened? He's like, "No, I just don't have." The trucking company got messed up, and there's an accident on the highway, so they're getting like 2 trucks per hour, and everybody's just like taking a nap. I'm like, damn, that is a very unusual situation for these guys.
Because it's 6,000 yards of material, 400 loads.
Yep. So at the rate they were getting it would have taken them like 40 hours to get the dirt in.
Yeah. Yeah, and they
do not have 40 hours.
Well, it was interesting how they did it, because they bring the dirt in, they cover everything. So they covered the field with like a fabric and like these blocks that I saw, and then plywood.
Yes.
And then they cover everything.
Every arena is different. Every stadium's different.
So
like MetLife was just a layer of like heavy plastic and then double layered plywood. So then the stadium also has the plywood. They have their own plywood for this stuff.
Really?
From what I understand, the one we were just at, the turf was brand new, and they put dirt on it before people played on it.
Oh, yeah, but it's turf.
It is, but it's like never the same after
Really?
that. Yeah. It fucks it up pretty bad.
Well, then they wouldn't do that. Maybe they would.
The money's right.
Who plays in MetLife Stadium? Giants?
It's the Giants and the, what's the other team?
The Jets?
And the Jets. Giants and Jets.
But I guess they need the money.
I don't think they need the money per se, but year-round income is nice.
Yeah.
So
I didn't really think this through before I was typing out a caption this morning, but these guys, they have 6 days to do everything from start to finish, sometimes 5 days, start to finish. So the schedule is wild that they're working on. The dirt is always different. It's different everywhere they go.
Mhm.
They have different machines everywhere they go.
Mhm.
The
And
weather,
they're traveling.
who knows?
So they left. They were in New Jersey on Monday,
Yes.
and they got here Tuesday night.
Yes. Yeah, half drive, half fly.
Or, sorry, Monday they got here, and then they started building Tuesday.
And then every field is different.
Mm-hmm.
Different dimensions.
Yep.
And every track is different.
Different people running it, different circumstances.
So a different trucking company, different trucks, everything's different.
It's wild. I think they've been doing it for so long. I think they kind of have a groove.
They
sort of understand who's where and what's what.
Yeah. You could tell they have it figured out, but
Mhm.
still
It's a lot.
That's logistically challenging. And then they lay everything out with a tape,
Yep.
like an old school tape, and little wooden stakes.
300-foot tapes and stakes. And we were talking, me and Alex have been like going back and forth for a couple months about like what they could do with GPS. Because he's like, so he does all the track design in SketchUp. And he's like, man, I'd love to have GPS just to do the corners, to set your 4 corners. Not even to do, so like Dream Tracks down in Florida, he'll do a 3D model of the track.
Yeah.
And he'll figure elevations and everything and all the features. But he's always outdoors.
That's the problem. In a stadium,
That's why
GPS doesn't work.
That's what I told him. I was like, first of all, I don't think it would ever be faster than what you're doing now. And you'd basically need a total station to make it work.
Yes.
And I don't know if you want to spend $100,000.
But you need a total station, and then how would you get your control point?
Exactly. GPS is not, they're always trying to push it on everybody, but it's just not, it does not fit all applications yet.
It doesn't fit all applications, and they oftentimes push it on people, and then no one knows how to use it.
Yeah.
I've talked to more people in the field that don't know how to use the technology they have than know how to use the technology they have.
Correct.
That's and I've heard numbers. It's statistically proven that most construction technology is not actually utilized. And it's not that it wouldn't help. It's just there's a total gap in learning. Because it's like,
There's a gap.
hey Eric, we bought some fucking Trimble. Figure it out.
Yes. There's a gap in the sales to implementation side.
Yes. Yeah, so they sell it. Okay, good. I got my sale. I sold you my $100,000 of GPS.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Well, how do we use it? We can maybe get out there in 14 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of hanging out with your dick in your hand, like, What do I do?
Yeah. Yeah. It's really weird. The whole concept of it is kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Well, it's not bizarre. I feel like it's pretty straightforward, but there's just that missing.
The concept of them not training people on a very new system is bizarre to me, and just letting them run with it.
Well, and I think the length in time that it's taken, like when did GPS start coming about?
Oh,
mainstream.
God. 15 years ago.
So yeah, I'd say it's about 15 years old.
I remember in 2007, my dad had an emulator on his computer for the GPS system they had gotten at work.
So we've spent 15 years trying to implement a technology that is very proven, very effective, and yet we, as an industry, still can't figure it out.
Yep.
That's pretty wild.
Yes. It is.
And then meanwhile, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and the Google cars are driving by me driverless.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got it figured out.
It's like, Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a weird little industry.
It's not a little industry. That's the craziest part.
It's
Everybody-
a weird, tiny little industry that
When I explain
nobody
what-
works in.
Well, when I explain what we do, everybody's like, that's such a cute little niche.
Yeah.
Like they pat me on the head. I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's niche. Yeah. Whatever you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of like explaining to the one sheriff's deputy yesterday. He's like, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I go around the country and I basically just like look at equipment and take pictures and videos and train people." He's like, "But why?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, why do you guys train?" Like, "Well, to get better. That's what we do." He's like, I'm like, how do you recruit your guys? He's like, well, we go out to community events. We've got, open house opportunities, and we're like visiting schools. Yeah, we kind of do the same thing, sort of. The industry does the same thing.
Do they recruit from the police force, or can you go sign up to be SWAT?
So it's actually, it depends. So it's all different based on what you want to do and where you want to go. So that particular county, that sheriff's office, if I wanted to, I could if I quit my job right now and I drove to Florida and I signed up for the academy, a year from today, I could apply for their SWAT team. Well, sorry, a year and 6 months, because they do. Not everybody does this, but they have brought their academy in-house. So they do a 6-month academy. They do a full training program. And it's accredited. So you can go right to take your test. You take your test and then you come back and now you're a sheriff.
Okay.
So then you have 1 year probation.
Yeah.
And then after your 1 year probation of on-the-job training, you can apply to the different departments within the organization.
And one of them is
SWAT. The problem is it's not a full-time SWAT team.
Yeah.
So you still have to do another job.
Okay.
Because they can't justify having 40 guys full-time on SWAT.
Sure.
So it's got to be the most lenient requirement that I've ever heard of to get on a SWAT team. But it's a 3-day tryout selection process. They usually have like 5 or 6 guys and 2 of them will get in. It's every 6 months. And then it's an 80-hour mandated course. You go to SWAT school.
What county was this?
I don't know if I want to say.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to say.
I don't know if you wanted to promote the county since they were so cool.
I think it was Volusia County.
Okay.
So it's Daytona Beach area.
Yeah. I just figured.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
They're on my bone.
I don't think they care. Yeah, if you feel like changing careers, Volusia County Sheriff's Department. I genuinely considered it for a couple minutes because the benefits are nuts.
Really?
Starting pay is like $27 an hour.
That's pretty good. Oh, in Florida, that's
in
great.
Florida.
Yeah, that's really
no.
good.
It's 2 weeks paid vacation. You don't pay a thing for insurance.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good deal.
We do have a weird job because yesterday you were with the sheriff's
I
department.
was with the sheriff's department,
And I was running around an NFL stadium by myself.
Yep. And then what did I do last week? I did something weird last week too.
Oh, I got to see a bridge demo this weekend. That was cool. That was really cool.
What did I do last week?
Went to Plateau. That was cool.
Oh, I was in Atlanta. Ugh.
Oh yeah, you went to see Strack.
Atlanta. No, it's weird. It's weird. And then, yeah, you were with the same company yesterday that I was with on Sunday in New Jersey, and now they're here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's so weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it is funny how it works. And I tell people I just appear.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of is how it works. I'm all the time. I'll see somebody that follows along with us.
Yeah.
I was just watching your stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll be also like, what are you doing here? I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, that's kind of how it works. Here I am.
Well,
What's up?
it was really funny because on Sunday when I got there, me and Alex went and delivered lunch to everybody. And the guys that were pushing the material up in the dump area, I walked up to the dozer and I handed the guy his bag of Wendy's. And then I was like, hey, how you doing? And this and that. I was talking to him for a little bit. And then we left. The guy messaged me like 2 hours later. He's like, holy shit, I didn't even realize who you were, and you just delivered Wendy's to me. I'm like,
That's what we do, man.
Yep. Just, you never know what's going to happen.
We are servants.
Yep.
Nothing more. We are here to serve the industry. So if you need your Wendy's,
We'll get you hooked up.
call in, send us an email.
Yeah.
Write us a note. We'll be there.
World a better place. One Wendy's order at a time.
The world's most expensive DoorDash.
It's an experience.
You're paying for first class, bud.
So the bridge demo this weekend was pretty cool because Lincoln with Ground Level called me last week as I was packing for Savannah.
Yeah.
I was going to Savannah. I don't bring anything when I go to Savannah. I don't bring a drone. I don't bring cameras.
How do you get to port photos? You don't take a drone with you?
I know. Well, sometimes I do, like this time, but I don't because I just don't want to do any of that.
Yeah. I'd be so bored. I don't know how the fuck you do it.
That's the point.
I'd be so bored.
That's the point. But I built a 100-page culture deck while I was there. So I'm very productive. But I can't have
What's a culture deck?
It's to help just kind of guide our entire business.
So you were working. What's the point then?
Yes, I was. But it's like I have one specific project, no meetings, nothing.
I guess. I don't know. I'd be bored. I don't know how you do it.
Well, anyway. So I wasn't going to bring anything, but as I was packing for Savannah and I was going to fly back, he calls me, he says, hey, we're knocking down 2 bridges this weekend in Phoenix. You should come out. I say, great. I'll come out. So I changed my flights. I packed my photo
So you went to
stuff
Phoenix
real quick.
first and then went to Savannah.
No. I went from Savannah to Phoenix. So I went Savannah, Charlotte to Phoenix.
Oh, God.
Got into Phoenix Friday afternoon. Saw my mom for dinner, which was a bonus. And then they started, the interstate closure went into effect like around midnight.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had all of the traffic control that they needed to put out to close an interstate.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot of traffic
It's a
control.
lot.
So they closed it all down. And then they had milling stockpiled that they loaded into articulated trucks, drove down the interstate, and placed the millings under each bridge.
Oh, to protect the roadway.
Yeah. So they just dropped millings right on the concrete.
Interesting.
About a foot of millings, and then they rolled it. So they were running a smooth drum roller.
Most companies will use like crane mats. That's interesting that they went to the trouble of putting millings down.
Crane mats or steel plates or...
Yeah. That seems like a lot of extra work.
Yeah, but I guess they just had a bunch of millings lying around.
Yeah, I guess.
And they
that
hauled
makes
it with
sense.
articulated trucks. So
Interesting.
they were hauling it a ton at a
How
time.
do they spread it out? With the excavator?
With a blade.
A demo company with a blade?
No. So the contractor
Oh.
did all of that.
Okay, got it.
And then they got that done about 3:30.
Okay.
And so ground level was knocking down one bridge with BCS knocking down the other bridge simultaneously.
How far apart were they?
Like a quarter mile, maybe a half mile. And ground level had their high reach, their 345 high reach, their 365.
That high reach? Why?
Just because they have it.
Oh.
I think they didn't really need it. But
Yeah.
we have a high reach.
Yeah.
Of course we're going to bring the high reach. Come
for
on.
sure.
Everybody's always like, oh, that doesn't make sense.
I'm
Like,
surprised they didn't bring the 60-20.
You must be fun at parties.
Yeah.
No, BCS has the 5130.
The 5130.
So they have 345 high reach, 365 demo excavator, 385 with the shear, 385 with the bucket, and then some smaller machines. So that was their side. And it was a kind of a big bridge. And then BCS had their 395, 385, and some smaller, like 349, 335, attacking 2 kind of smaller bridges. And it was a blast. I had a really good time.
Yeah. It's always a good time to see that stuff.
And everybody, I don't know why, demo especially, everybody thinks they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's so critical. Like I posted that video of the 385 with the wrecking ball. Knocking at that foundation. And you watch, when you're there in person, it's super effective. Yeah. Like it breaks up that foundation quick.
Yeah, it's less impact on the machine. It's less wear and tear. It's a significantly cheaper investment.
It's super cheap.
Yeah.
They can unhook it. It has just a hook on the back. So they can drop it, use your bucket, pick it back up. But a lot of people are like, why don't they just pull it over? I'm like,
Yep, go for it.
How dumb are you?
Mhm.
If they could have pulled it over with a 385, they probably would have, but it's a bridge foundation, you jackass.
Yeah.
Like, what? Do you understand how big the rebar is in those piers?
Yeah, I am like, I'm really over just, I don't even read the comments anymore. I'm so over it.
I don't interact much.
It's so, everybody goes out and they run a skid steer for like 2 weeks and they think that they're God's gift to construction. And it's like, just go back in your hole and stop commenting on stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do. No, but they demoed most everything with a bucket. They just had buckets on their machines, and they just broke the deck up.
Wow!
And then came in with the shear and snipped up the girders.
So there's no hammers.
Nope. I mean, they had smaller machines with hammers for the little stuff.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that says a lot about the excavator's capabilities or the weakness of the bridge.
Well, I like the 385 or 395. It was just chewing through it. It was
just a bucket, no thumb or anything.
Oh, it had a thumb on it, but they weren't using it. I mean, other than to move the steel girders around.
Does it have a hydraulic thumb?
Yeah.
On a 395?
Yeah, they built it.
That's got to be gnarly.
It's branded BCS because they built it themselves.
Does it have an extra weight on it in the back?
I don't know.
Standard stick?
It's a yes. Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And it's
machine.
It's like a solid thumb. There's no teeth on it.
Oh, it's like a demo thumb. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's badass. Wow. It's super cool. So they had that on 395.
Maybe I have seen that. They probably posted it a while back.
I think they build them and they'll sell them. If you have a 395.
That's right. That's why I saw it, because I remember seeing the ad. Yeah, that's right. I did see that.
Yeah, they'll sell them. But it worked like a charm. I mean, they just sat there just whacking through it, and everybody's like, "Why wouldn't you use a hammer?" I'm just sitting there. Well, it worked. So why would you use a hammer? I don't know. If you don't have to use one, why would you use one? But
Hammers
then
suck.
I knew the Europeans would freak out about it. And
because there was no ink on and there was no oil quick.
Well, yeah, there wasn't. They weren't processing the Europeans. If that were Eberhard, they would have gone in there with processors, and they would have very surgically taken that thing apart. The material would have been spotless. All of the rebar would be spotless. Every girder would be cut to length. Like they're precise.
What were they doing? Hauling it away with the haul trucks?
So what they did was they had demo trailers for the girders and for the rebar. And then the contractor had like 3 or 4 966 loaders at each bridge, just sitting there waiting for them to finish.
Whoa.
And then what they did was they just pushed all of the concrete and millings just off to the side.
Oh, wow.
And they would just deal with it later and get the interstate back open.
Yeah, there's nothing finesse about that.
No, I thought they were going to clean up. And they're like, no, they're just waiting to push it all out of the way.
So how long are the bridges closed for?
Just the weekend.
I mean, like the ones they deleted.
What do you mean?
The road that the bridges.
They had already replaced the bridges. So they had already built new bridges.
Oh, so they built them in a different location.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess if you're in the desert, you can kind of do that.
Yeah. Since there's so much space over that part of the interstate, they kind of were able to
redirect the road.
And they needed to do new flyovers anyway. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was pretty cool because you could watch the old bridge get demoed from the new bridge.
Sure.
Which was nice.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So for non-experts, millings is just dirt?
Nope.
It is it used asphalt essentially. So you have, when you pave a road, when like in this section, this is the Broadway Curve project. So it's concrete paving with an asphalt overlay, and they used rubberized asphalt typically in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's still aggregate, it's still emulsion. It's still an asphalt mix, but then there's shredded tire mixed into it as well to help with noise reduction. And it's a substantial noise reduction.
Doesn't it prolong the life of the road too?
It might do that, but if you feel a cross section of rubber, it's legitimately spongy.
Yeah.
It's not super spongy, but if you hit it with a hammer, it wouldn't necessarily break.
For sure. Probably not super awesome to hit with the milling machine.
No, so since they're redoing that section, what they do is they come through and they mill all the asphalt. So they have a milling machine with basically this drum with a bunch of teeth on the bottom that spins really fast, and they drag it along the asphalt. It chews up the asphalt into the little bits, shoots it out into a conveyor into trucks. And that's millings, that can then be recycled, because asphalt can be recycled into new asphalt.
Yes.
So a lot of times all of that will be hauled away because it's valuable. They'll stockpile it at an asphalt plant, and then they'll use a certain percentage of that in new asphalt mix as RAP, recycled asphalt pavement.
Ready for a fun fact?
Yes.
Asphalt is the number one most recycled product in the world,
Yes.
with like a 90% recycle rate.
The crazy thing, but millings also makes for really good, like, temporary roads.
Yeah, I don't know.
road
I've
base.
never seen millings just get thrown away.
No, yeah, you want to keep
Now,
that stuff
I
around.
personally hate, a lot of guys are like, take that to my house and layer my driveway with it. I hate millings. I don't ever want to have millings in my driveway. It's a disaster when they get wet.
Yeah, but
It's awful.
yeah.
But they're great for a temporary situation, like
temporary.
a road into the job site, or if you want to like build a parking lot. But like, man, my one buddy, he did a whole driveway out of millings. And like, it's just every time he walked in his garage, it's like shit's everywhere, and it's like it smells when it rains.
Because you have to, if you used millings, you'd have to put something on top of it to hold it together.
Yeah.
Like
And
a tack coat.
He never did that.
I don't know if it's a tack coat, but it's like what they do with the chip seal.
You could do that to any driveway.
They'll lay out the emulsion,
Yeah.
and then they'll lay the rocks on it and then roll it.
Yeah. I was trying to talk my landlord into it because he just is really bad at maintaining our 1 mile long dirt driveway. And I was like, let's just come in here and hit it with a grader and then spray it. You never have to worry about it, and you don't have to pave it. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I'm like, that's why I'm here to tell you.
That reminds me of
So silly.
millings is nice too because it keeps dust down on
Yeah.
haul roads. But I was in Arizona, and they spray their haul roads with this it's not peanut oil, but it's something along those lines to suppress dust on haul roads.
What?
It's like an oily substance,
Maybe like a
But
corn
it's-
oil?
it's environmentally friendly,
What?
and they'll spray it all down on their haul roads
That
every
sounds
so often,
awful.
and it binds kind of all the dirt together and keeps the dust down.
I feel like that was in Montana. Wasn't that it?
No,
I feel like I've seen that too.
maybe it was. They also did it in Montana. Maybe
They had like a company come in and do it.
maybe they did do it there too. Yeah, I could. Yeah, you might be right.
I remember this. Where was that?
At the copper mine there.
Yeah.
But the one I'm thinking of specifically is in Arizona, and it really works. It's super effective.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no dust, because dust is bad for the environment.
Oh. Yeah. No. Kind of. Not really.
Not really.
Nobody cares.
It makes for really good sunrises and sunsets.
Yeah. Yeah. Team Dust.
Are you team dust?
I'm Team Dust. Yeah. I said it.
It is
I
funny.
made my stance.
Like a place like California that's so environmentally restrictive
Mhm.
doesn't really care about dust.
Yeah. No, when we did that thing with Josh, with the grinder,
Oh, the dust was
and
everywhere
the dust
there.
was everywhere, and they cleaned the filters like twice a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you allowed to do this? And they said, well, they'd rather see dust than fire.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, I guess that makes sense.
Or save water. I wonder how
Both, I guess.
the Central Valley is going to be with all the water now.
Probably
Like now that every reservoir is full.
the same.
Probably the same.
Probably the same if I
Yeah.
had to guess.
Yeah.
Probably still going to be an awful place to be.
It's still just a dust bowl.
Yeah. Because they'll never use it is the problem. They'll say we can't use this water. So that's like a historic amount of water, right? That's
Yes.
not a normal.
No. They broke.
So they went from way too little to way too much.
Yeah, they broke every damn record imaginable out west.
How are the dam? Well, I guess the last time they would have got that rain was 2017 when those dams blew.
That was only up north. I don't think that was across the board. But yeah, the Oroville Dam.
I wonder how those will hold up.
But that the problem was kind of the water on that, but the real problem was the spillway.
Uh-huh.
So they like the way a dam works in real layman terms is you put a big concrete wall in the river, which backs up the river behind it, creating a reservoir. But that dam lets a certain amount of water through to keep the flow of the river downstream and to typically produce power. So you have intakes and you have piping inside that dam to let the water still go through in a measured way. But then the problem is when you get too much water in that reservoir and you're not letting it out fast enough, they typically have a spillway that you can just wash more water down the river as necessary so it doesn't go over the dam, which would be catastrophic.
Right.
What happened there was they started to use the spillway because the water got so high, but then the spillway started to fail. But they couldn't stop running the spillway because more water was coming into the reservoir and they needed to let the water out. So they just ran the spillway, even though it was failing catastrophically, and completely obliterated the whole spillway.
Yeah.
As a result, and washed a huge amount of material.
And then the emergency spillway failed.
Well, so that was the spillway. Yes. Well, and then because
they have the spillway they control, and then they have the one to the left that is just like an overflow, like your sink.
So it was all just a complete disaster.
I hate that it was like just a little bit before our time.
Oh, that would have been but it was the Black and Yellow Company,
Uncle K,
the Black and Yellow, Uncle P. Yeah. So
Uncle PK.
But everybody and their mother.
I
was
still
out
think
there
that
on
would
the
have
cleanup. Been. The cleanup was cool.
Yeah,
because McAmis was out there.
Yep.
There were a ton of companies out there.
I think we still could have got in.
I think so too.
Had it been like today, if it happened right now.
Oh, I would have done everything I could to figure it out.
Yeah.
Disaster stuff it's not cool, but it is cool from like a coordination, logistics, work standpoint.
It's not lit, but it's totally lit, dude.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, like the 9/11 cleanup.
Yeah.
That must have been.
I see. Now that's one I probably would have stayed away from because all those guys have cancer now.
Yeah, but at the time, like you didn't know that.
Well, now I know that.
Okay. Yeah. 22 decades later,
so
you do know that.
So I'm going to wear like a full scuba respirator if that ever happens again.
But a lot of those guys too, it was prolonged exposure.
That's true too. Those guys were out there for like 16 hours a day.
Yeah. For a year plus. But fires, hurricanes, flooding, it's all crazy to see after the fact.
Yeah.
And heavy equipment is the first. It's first responders.
Yeah.
And then heavy equipment is right behind that.
Yeah.
Snow removal. In Boston, they've definitely swept up some bodies in the snow.
Oh, really?
Accident, yeah.
You mean like people that died?
People got stuck?
Or people that were...
people that died of exposure and got
I never thought of that. Wow, that's... Damn, thanks for that one.
That's the irony of...
I did not need that thought today.
Well, but that's the irony of global warming. Far more people die by cold than they do by heat. Like, way more people die by cold. Cold is bad for human beings.
This is not a scientifically backed up thought at all.
This is not a scientifically backed up podcast.
This thought that I'm about to share is not in any way representative of the scientific community. If you think about it, so the theory that I have is that, okay, well, obviously we had a very warm winter. All of the trees where I live in Pennsylvania have already bloomed. So we're like a month ahead of schedule for...
Really?
Yes. It's unreal. And my thought process when I was flying out of there the other day, I was like, I wonder if the trees are blooming faster because they have more carbon dioxide in the air to feed on.
That's part of the reason. Yeah. Yeah, CO2 is good for trees.
It is very good for trees, and they have plenty of it now.
That's why, like, they've studied tree growth over the past 50 years, and it's substantially greater than ever before because, large in part, the CO2.
So it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
My 7.3 is good.
You're feeding the trees.
I'm feeding the trees. That's a sticker if I've ever heard one.
You know what I was thinking about this morning while I was working out?
What?
Every reptile is solar powered.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So we're getting the office lizard?
Yeah.
Well,
I like, if you think about it, an alligator, it's solar powered.
Interesting.
It can't do anything without the sun.
That's right.
It's got to charge itself up.
Huh.
Crazy, huh?
My brother, he's in the Air Force, and I guess one of his commanding officer's wife, I guess, is a zookeeper.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they have to take certain animals home with them when they're babies to like expose them to humans.
Oh, that's cool.
So they brought a bunch of baby kangaroos to their base yesterday. And it's funny because they have like little diapers on. They're just like, it was like this big.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I want a baby kangaroo now.
They do get big though. Like the ones I saw
They're
in Tasmania.
big and mean.
Well, they even but the ones in Tasmania, they weren't even that big, but they come up to you and you have the bag of food in your hand, and they were like, "Give me that damn food."
Yeah.
And you're thinking in your like, this kangaroo could probably kick my ass.
Oh,
right
for
now.
sure.
Like without a doubt, I think he could get the food if he really wanted it.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things I think. Like people that have never been to America probably think it's all either Hollywood or New York City. Probably, right?
That's what I think.
Or people with guns just running around everywhere.
Well, it's three. It's the New York City, and then the guns in the middle, and then
guns
Hollywood.
in the middle. Yeah. So it depends where you go, but that's kind of I feel like the perception of America. My perception of Australia, where there's kangaroos everywhere, there's actually kangaroos everywhere. Like I kind of went there though. Like, no, there can't be kangaroos everywhere. They must be in like one little region, the kangaroo region. Yeah, but they're everywhere. Huh. They're like deer.
Interesting. And even like downtown?
Not downtown, but like I don't know. Maybe there's kangaroos in towns. I didn't go to that many.
Urban roos.
Yeah. Or do you think they become problematic? Like they have to like
shoot them out of the city.
Yeah. Capture them like they do alligators in Florida communities.
I want
after they eat little dogs.
I'm pretty determined to have a Highland cow. Fluffy cow.
John Skopeniak has a few.
I know. His brother raises them. So the problem is they're very expensive because they've become a status item.
Yeah.
For rich people.
Yeah. Designer cows.
They're designer cows.
Put on TikTok.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Jared has two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he got his dehorned.
What does that? What's the difference? Oh, dehorned. I thought you said dewormed. I'm like, don't you have to do that to everything?
No.
Oh, dehorned.
Yeah.
No, they got to keep the horns. That's part of the appeal for me. They're just like,
why? They just look funny.
Yeah, they look like Star Wars creatures.
Oh, they do look like Star Wars creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people down the road, they have a ton of. So they have got to be the weirdest farm. But it's very fitting because I live in Bucks County, which is like, it's like the richest county in Pennsylvania, and I don't belong there. And down the road, there's this farm that they've got to have like 10 or 15 fluffy brown Highland cows.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a pack of sheep.
Mm-hmm.
They have like 25 black horses.
Wow.
That always are together. And then they have something else weird too.
Alpacas?
Alpacas across the street. That's somebody else's
farm. That's another thing that's gotten popular. Alpacas.
Yeah, alpacas are big too.
Yeah.
I think they have like they have a bunch of ducks or something. They have a small fowl of some kind.
I want a bunch of animals, but I want horses, and then I want just one zebra.
Just one.
Yeah, to just throw people off. Like as they're driving by, I just want them to look out. Oh, look at those horses. Wait, is that a fucking zebra?
Yeah.
Like, Mom, look, a zebra.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. It's not a zebra. Those are horses.
Yeah.
And there's a zebra there.
Yeah. Or like
just to play with people.
Prairie dogs.
Well, I think you get those.
Just like prairie dogs.
Just a whole town of prairie dogs.
1,000 prairie dogs.
We would shoot gophers in Montana, Wyoming.
Gophers are funny too.
Yeah, that field would be just
wrecked.
riddled with holes.
It would have like little mountains everywhere.
The gophers are a problem because they dig the holes and then the cattle can get their feet stuck in them.
True.
They break their feet and then you have to kill the cow.
Yeah, true.
Or horses too. You have to kill horses sometimes when they break their damn leg stepping in a gopher hole.
Damn, horses be useless, huh?
Well, I feel like we did develop the world with horses, and then they're kind of just now forgotten about.
We can bring horsepower back.
Because we got diesel power.
I wonder if there's like a scraper for a horse.
Yes, that's how they used to do it.
I don't think I've ever seen one. I've seen like
How have you not seen those pictures of the draft horses running a scraper?
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah, you're right.
Scrapers, blades, they did everything.
Yeah. Well, Garrett has like a draft horse blade. He's trying to get horses to run it. If anybody has horses, hit me up. If anybody has Clydesdales. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we'll be able to get a good deal on the Budweiser Clydesdales because they're not doing too hot right now. So maybe they might auction those off to make up for some losses.
I have been seeing a lot of videos about Budweiser uses for target practice. A lot of people have been shooting the Budweiser cans now.
Yeah.
Which still, I guess, gives them business.
Oh, for sure.
But that was a real pickle for them. Like,
I don't really know how they thought that was going to go.
Well, I heard it was kind of the marketing department just kind of went rogue and just kind of did it. But they didn't, or at least that's what they're claiming. It wasn't an official campaign. But
that's one of those companies that's like too big to go out of business. But
that's what you think. But the beer companies are fascinating because
they
they've all
own
been
like
around.
40 companies.
They all own everything.
Yeah.
It's like 3 companies that own everything.
Yeah.
Every single brand imaginable is probably owned by one of these companies. And they've all been around for forever.
Can you get food poisoning from beer?
Can you?
I mean, from a dirty tap line.
I guess you can get food poisoning.
Would you ever realize that you got food poisoning from it, or would you just blame it on the alcohol?
Okay, so I've had one night that I just got terribly sick, and I did not have that much to drink.
So maybe you had food poisoning.
Everybody's like, "Oh, but you got, but you were drinking." I've had two times it's happened. Everybody's like, "Oh, no, you were drinking." I'm like, I was drinking, but it's not like I haven't drank that much before, many times over. Never had a single problem. But I was sick in bed for like a whole day after both times.
Maybe I'll start blaming it on food poisoning.
When you're hungover?
Yeah. Yeah, I had too much seltzer. I had food poisoning.
Have you had food poisoning?
Probably.
How do you not know if you've had food poisoning? It's
been a while.
It has been a while. Dude, food poisoning, not a good time. I do. I have a lot of international travel this year.
Yeah.
That's when you get it.
They cook different.
Yeah, it's not the food poisoning, but you there's all these bacteria that your body's not used to.
It's the lack of bleach in their food is what does it.
Yeah, because we don't actually use real ingredients for our food in our country.
Yeah.
Everything is so processed that you're good to go regardless.
For sure.
But other places use real things.
I highly recommend the WH cleanse. So I build up my immunity system by visiting Waffle House every day. And people think I'm crazy, but boy, does it work.
Did you go this morning?
I didn't go this morning. So they actually closed the one I used to go to here, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to the other one now. So they closed the one across the river because the homeless population would shoot up right outside the window.
That happens.
So the other one, the only other good one is the one by the airport. And man, at 7:00, I just do not want to fight airport traffic.
For dine-in, it doesn't open till 7?
Yes.
See, that's the problem though.
That's a pain in the ass.
For the working man, 7:00 does not work for breakfast.
And it's just,
unless you're a truck driver.
It's a thing that they did with COVID. Now that I'm thinking about it, the one that I went to in Florida was open at 6:30 because I just went to the one in Daytona Beach.
I feel like they have to open.
That was an experience.
Why?
Well, I stayed on the beach on Monday.
I saw that. Because
it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I'm like anti-Airbnb now.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Why?
I do not deal with them if I don't have to.
I'm anti-hotel. I'm the opposite camp. I fucking hate hotels. I just stayed in one the other day. I'm like, I hate this.
It is just so much easier. And I'm so sick of paying like a cleaning fee that's more expensive than the apartment.
I don't think it's easier though, because you have to walk in, and to go to your room, you have to talk to somebody. I don't want to. It
usually takes like 30 seconds.
I don't want to talk to you.
If you use Holiday Inn, you can use an app and you just walk right in. You scan the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You haven't talked to anybody?
No.
That's why I like Airbnb and National Rental Car too. I don't have to talk to anybody. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to tell you where I'm going. I don't have to tell you how I'm doing.
Yeah.
today.
No, I don't like dealing with that. Yeah. No, I don't know. I just hate the rules of like Airbnbs, and then like it's kind of like, I don't know. I've watched a lot of videos on how it's really bad for the local economy.
Mm-hmm.
And most Airbnb hosts are just total shitbags. And I'm tired of giving them money. So
you're going to give it to the shitbag
Yes.
corporate hotels.
yeah, because at least they're set up for it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't have to like put the towels in a certain way or like
I don't do
shut
any of
the
that.
Yeah.
I
got like 4 bad reviews in the last couple months because I haven't been putting the towels in the tub.
No,
And I'm just like, all right, fuck you guys.
They send me their rules. I'm like, great. All of these I'm going to completely ignore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trash the place, but I'm going to leave the towels on the floor. I'm not taking the trash out.
Yeah.
I'm paying you $115 as a cleaning fee.
Yep.
You can figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
If you're not going to charge me a cleaning fee, if it's like some old lady, I'll do my chores, whatever you want. But
Yeah.
I'm not doing both.
Yeah.
So make up your mind, Airbnb
Yeah.
hosts.
So anyway, I've been traveling a lot by myself lately. So it's been just cheaper to do a hotel. It was like $190 to stay on the beach in a Marriott across from a Waffle House. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes. Let's do it.
Interesting.
Daytona Beach is messed up right now. And I didn't realize that.
From the storm.
Yeah. Every single hotel on the beach is destroyed.
Wow, really?
Every other hotel is shut down because they're structurally compromised.
Are they just like shuttered?
Yes. They're all, I mean,
Like there's a fence around it with a padlock? And
yes. It seems like half of them, most of them just got the insurance money because they just started demoing pools and stuff. I did not know any of that was happening.
Well, when you build something right on the beach,
Yeah.
in sand,
Yeah.
there's a
beaches-
parable about this.
Those beaches don't look like they've had a lot of work done to them lately because there's like a huge drop off.
Well, did the wise man build his hotel on sand? No, he built it on a rock.
In the water though. Was it still in the water?
I don't know. But
yeah.
So the beach is eroding, which
I
is
was
eroding
standing
the
there.
foundation.
I walked out because it was a balcony with the ocean view, and I was standing there. I was like, damn, this is nice. This is like the nicest work trip I've ever gone on. I'm standing there and I'm looking down the ocean, and my eyes start drifting to the left to the hotel next door. I'm like, weird. That hotel is very dark.
Nobody
there at 7 p.m. What's that about? And I start looking down, and I realize that half of the pool is laying on the beach.
Yeah, that.
And then I saw the pile driving rig putting in pilings to save the hotel. And I was like, whoa, gotta go check that out. And I walked down there, and it's like, this one's messed up. This one's messed up. This one's messed up. None of them have none of them have beach access because all the stairs and the walls are gone. It's crazy.
Have you seen the stuff in Utah that's starting to happen?
Like landslides and stuff?
Yeah.
I haven't really seen anything major, but I'm sure it's coming.
People's houses falling off mountains?
I've seen one of those, yeah. Yep.
There was footage of, like, people got it. They evacuated the house because the house started moving. Like, honey, the house is moving. It's not.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it is moving.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. And then 4 hours later, setting up video camera, a house just disappears
Unreal.
right off the edge of the cliff because the soil is so saturated.
That's like some Pennsylvania stuff when like where my grandparents live in Pittston a couple years ago. All the time actually, there's like roads will just disappear because there's just so many underground coal shafts that were left abandoned. So like Northeast PA is riddled with coal shafts.
Yeah.
There's houses all the time that just like, yeah, our backyard got swallowed. Okay.
Was it in Pennsylvania where like the whole town was burning underneath?
Yeah, so that's Centralia.
Yeah. It's a mine that's burning underneath.
Yeah, so it's to me it is like I know the company that used to they'll hire an excavation company to like deal with the mine fires.
Mm-hmm.
So to spray the water on it. And my grandfather worked for the company back in the day when they're doing it. And he told me that they used to, so they would have like a hose set up and they would just like spray the fire. So they would, when somebody came around, they would have the hose spraying the fire. And then when everybody left, they would turn the hose to the left and they would spray the ground without fire. And it was just like a never ending job. You know what I mean? That's what the boss told them to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the biggest, like, super fun scam in the world to me is mine fires.
A lot of the disaster response, just in general,
It's pretty lacking.
you see some of the contracts too. You're like,
Yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah.
Someone took someone to dinner
Yeah.
and, under the table. I don't know what they did, but they did something.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way that's just a multi-billion-dollar no-bid contract.
Centralia is cool though because it's like right smack in the middle of coal country. So you'll be going, okay, there's a big ass coal mine, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Ghost town. Then you go a little bit further. You can go either direction. Coal mine. And it's just like, man, they just gave up on this place.
How far from Reading is that?
Oh, like 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
Well, they have a mine on the north side, and they have all the rest of their stuffs on the south side.
So I feel like I've been to some of those mines.
Maybe.
I've been to some other ones out there.
You probably haven't been to the one in Centralia because they're a little tough to get in with.
What do they run there?
They have a 5130. They have a Manawak dragline. They have a bunch of 992s.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one.
We have a couple of D11s. Earth Movers is in there now, doing backfill. And then the mine with the 1250 they just got, and the new PC 2000, that'll be up the road from that one in Mount Carmel.
Is that where they're running the 6015s?
So they didn't buy the 6015s. So Brubacher actually bought them. The Site Work and Development Company. You might have to edit this out. The Site Work and Development Company.
Why? I edited it out.
I don't know. Don't edit this out.
Yeah, contractors think everything they do is secret.
That's
it's
true.
Like, we know everything. We know when you buy big machines. People tell us that stuff.
Yeah. Well, one of the only reasons I know that is because an operator from a competing company quit to go run the 6015.
Yeah. But that's the funny thing is, it's like everybody's worked for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like so what's your competitor doing? Oh, they're doing XYZ. So you're like, so if you know that, don't you think that they know your XYZ? Like,
Now, supposedly, maybe this might work out because maybe this will help me solve this rumor if somebody hears this from the company and messages me. Supposedly, they also bought a 6020.
That's what I've heard.
And I don't know how true that is.
I've heard that.
It is bizarre to me that a site work and development company is getting into coal. However,
no, Cleveland Brothers just sold a few more 6020s.
For sure. I think a lot of them are going out west, though.
I thought 6020s were old machines.
Nope.
No.
So the 6020 is the one I posted yesterday. So that one's like a year old.
Yeah.
So they bought the I can't remember the name of the company now. I think it's O&K.
Yeah, it is.
So they bought O&K.
Well, they bought Bucyrus,
which
owned O&K.
Yes. So the 6020 used to be the 6018, and then they developed the 6020.
Yes.
Which we are currently trying to decide through an open forum debate if it is in fact ugly or pretty looking. Sounds like we're leaning a little towards the ugly side.
Yeah, it's not the prettiest machine.
Now, I will say I think everything in that size class is pretty damn ugly to begin with.
Canada had a strong stance on that.
Yeah, Canada's got some things to say, and I don't always agree with Canada, but that's okay because Canada's opinion doesn't matter in that regard.
I did say, that's what I said. It's the fat kid on the block, but it has a great personality.
It does. I just like the way it sounds. I don't know if all the ones I've seen are supposed to sound like that. They've just got this crazy whine to them.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a supercharger on a tank.
It does sound pretty cool.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
They sound so cool when you're standing there.
Yeah. I need to go back up there. I'm going to do Reading on the road trip too.
Yeah. They'll have a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Do Schlock and then Reading.
Yeah. They'll have a pile of cool stuff. They'll have the new PC 2000. They're going to get 6 more HD 1500s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then they might get a new show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Buy the one in Florida.
I don't know if I want to sell that to them.
If you're looking for a Marion rope shovel
With a parts machine.
with the parts machine, give us a call. We have one
We'll sell you one.
on consignment
Yeah.
in Florida, but worldwide shipping. Probably worldwide shipping.
What if we started a consignment company?
What?
New division?
We could probably make some pretty good money. On that shovel, what are they replacing it with? You don't know? Did you talk to them?
No, the crusher is actually available with it, the mobile crusher.
Wow.
They've set up a whole new primary plant, and they're going to do the same thing that C-Mex does. They're going to mine it with a drag line.
And then a loader and trucks and haul it to the primary.
992s, 785s. Yep. They were like, man, C-Mex is doing pretty good. Let's just do it the way they're doing it. Instead of this goofy-ass mobile crusher that floats.
I
mean, it's sick.
The crusher doesn't float.
Yeah, that's conveyor belts.
Conveyor belts.
It's a sick setup. Don't get me wrong.
It's badass.
Loading a crusher with an electric rope shovel is gnarly.
Well, so what they do, it's a mobile crusher. Yeah. Mobile crusher. So they
on steroids.
They Florida water table, super high. You put a shovel in the ground, you're hitting water. So they mine the aggregate, but the aggregates, so all the aggregates below the water table, they throw it all up onto the surface with a drag line into big piles, surface level, and they let that drain out over the week or two, and then they come in with that rope shovel, mine the piles, have the crusher on tracks, pull right up to it, throw it into the crusher, which then feeds it into a conveyor belt that's floating on the water in front of it, that then, I mean, it must be a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
2 miles to the plant or whatever it is from there. That's one of the wackiest aggregate operations I've seen.
But that's why they're switching to trucks, because I guess it's a long trip for a truck, but they don't need a lot of them because the plant doesn't process it that fast. So kind of the same problem that C-Mex has. The C-Mex, they're opening a new cut.
Yes. Yeah,
And
I went out to it.
So they'll have a close operation and they'll have a faraway operation. So they're just gonna
Balance the two.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so it works out pretty good. So they did that in lieu of buying 2 new trucks.
Interesting. The new C-Mex operation, Josh was explaining the clearing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So they came in, they had to clear it, but the aggregate is the rock, the good rock is below the water table. So they had to get all the overburden off the rock, but they can't dewater because there's too much water.
Yeah.
So they essentially had to just put dozers in the water and squeegee the material.
It's
across
crazy.
the rock.
The overburden crews there are disgusting. That is not a job I ever want.
Oh no! The machines were destroyed.
Yeah,
that's why I asked them about it. I'm like, why is all the equipment such a disaster? It's like because they're just working in slop all day long to uncover the rock below it.
They have a 992K out there and it's just destroyed.
Yeah,
and salty slop as well.
No, it's all freshwater because it's so far inland.
It's. I think it might be brackish. So my sunglasses, the yellow sunglasses that I wear.
Yeah.
So I got to Daytona the other day. It was raining. I had my sunglasses on my neck at the shirt level, and they got wet. They've been wet before, so I put them in the car and I forgot to wipe them off. So there's water on them overnight. I get back and the coating is all peeling off the sunglasses.
That wasn't water.
It was not water.
There's something in that Florida air.
There be something in the water down there.
It's all the stuff from the collapsing hotels.
That must be it.
All the asbestos.
Yeah, totally ruined my glasses. I was so mad.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Those glasses were dumb.
They were great.
It's not actually a bummer.
They were the best glasses I've ever owned, and I can't even get a replacement because they discontinued them because they were so awesome.
That's great news.
I'm
really happy about
red ones now.
I had someone actually over the fence with a little mist bottle.
Spraying me with acid.
Yeah, some acid.
Explains the rash.
Yeah, Florida is. I don't know. Every time I go to Florida, I'm just.
I like it.
I don't necessarily look forward to it. I don't not like it.
I like it. I think I'm starting to like it more than South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
There's more to do.
There's a lot more to do.
There'd be more freedom. They got their freedom down there.
South Carolina's pretty chill too. Like during COVID.
No, Florida's better.
South Carolina, did not give a single fuck.
No, yeah.
Except for Charleston. Charleston's like a little microcosm.
Yeah.
It's a little bubble.
Yeah, Charleston was a little bit more locked down.
Yeah, but South Carolina, it's like, dude,
I still never skipped a beat.
No. Arizona was
pretty
sweet.
I never stopped working. The job I was on, I mean, they mandated masks because they're from out of state, but like, we never wore them.
No, from Silicon Valley.
Yes.
They're not from out of state.
Yes.
They're woke AF.
And then, I think we only closed down restaurants for a month. So,
yeah.
No, we didn't care.
I don't even think we closed all the way. It was just takeout for like a month or two. And then went back to normal. Did
you see like all the late night show hosts are like talking shit on COVID now?
Yes.
I was watching, what's the late night show with not John Daly.
Stewart.
Jon Stewart. He's like a conspiracy theorist now.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Colbert and he was talking about.
Was that recently?
That was like the other day.
Really?
I watched the video.
Because he was on a while back and he started to talk about stuff, and then Colbert kind of shut him down because he didn't have permission to talk about it. We can't talk.
Interesting.
But on this podcast, we can talk about it all day long.
Yeah, I don't think they care. I guess we'll find out.
Have y'all had it?
I've never had it.
Probably several times.
No, I've never had it.
I don't know because I never
officially Aaron's never had it.
No, yeah, I've never had COVID.
See, it's stupid because I've gotten tested for it, and every time I'd get tested, they'd be like, "Oh, you came too early," or "Oh, you came too late," or "Oh, you have to get another test." And I'm like, "This is stupid. Just tell me if I have it or not." It's the only thing that you have to get tested several times for and get tested in the right way to know if you got sick or not.
Because the test company makes more money the more tests you use.
Yes.
So you got to just, yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah. But I only had to do COVID tests for Saudi Arabia last year. And I was terrified that I was not going to pass them.
Yeah.
But we had to get a COVID test to get into the country. And then while we were in country, we had to get one to go to Dubai. And then it was while everybody in the United States had COVID and nobody in Dubai had COVID, I had to get another COVID test in Dubai to prove I didn't have it to get back into the United States.
Very useful.
Where everybody had it.
Very useful.
But that's the only time. And I passed all three of them. So I've never had it.
Interesting.
We travel so much. We're exposed to all kinds of weird stuff all the time.
I'm just always sick.
I'm not sick because I'm healthy.
I'm just always hit with something.
It's brutal.
Knock on wood. I haven't really gotten anything in a while.
Have you noticed at airports, no one knows how to travel?
I noticed that everywhere I go, nobody knows how to interact with anybody as a human being.
I don't know what it is. It's like, but outside of the airport, everybody's rational.
Yeah.
You go into the airport, all sense of awareness, of rationality, of intelligence, you just leave it at the door.
Yep.
And it's just fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Every airport, every place I go now is just nuts. There's not one experience where I'm like, this isn't so bad.
This one, Nashville, I hate this airport now.
Yeah, it's
I flew in here last week, the week before. I couldn't move. It was so busy.
That's crazy.
I had to ask people to get out of my way because I couldn't get to where I was going.
Well, that's that. So they did this expansion, $1.5 billion expansion.
It just wasn't enough
to deal with the increased traffic, and then they announced another $1.5 billion expansion while they were still doing the first expansion because they'd already passed the traffic numbers.
They built the satellite. They didn't even tell anybody they're building the satellite.
Oh,
you have to get up. You're gonna have to ride a bus to get out.
Yeah,
there.
The little wing out there.
Yeah,
it's like. You guys couldn't find a better place for this.
I've been watching that for a year.
I didn't know what it was.
I thought it was a hangar.
That's what I thought. I thought it was something.
I was like, that's a weird place to put a hangar.
But it might be for international.
I think it's going to be for like Allegiant and those little airlines.
I hope so. If I have to get on a bus.
Yeah.
To get to my
Southwest that's going to be so dumb.
American flight.
I was like, there's no way they're going to put because it's a lot of connections that come into there too for Southwest.
It is.
So I don't think they'll do that. But
there's some people that'll connect 2 to 3 times to get somewhere.
Imagine being that dumb,
dude.
Imagine having that kind of time.
Well, and everybody's like, "Oh, you don't fly the same airline." I'm like, "Oh, you're still doing that game?"
Yeah,
bro. Fly whoever gets you there direct.
Yes.
Don't fuck with connections.
Yep.
That is where it goes wrong. I don't connect anymore. Very rarely. I do connect, but I try to avoid it. I don't get screwed all that often anymore.
I would sooner drive to. I would sooner like fly to somewhere nearby and drive the rest of the way.
I do that a lot. You do that. I flew into Atlanta the other day and then I drove home.
Yep.
I'm not going back to the airport. Are you kidding me?
Yep. Or like sometimes I'll fly to Charlotte and drive to Charleston.
It's
because it's a 3-hour drive.
Oh, because you'd connect in Charlotte anyway to Charleston, and that flight is probably delayed or canceled half the time.
Yeah, because it's such a small flight. It's always the last one. It's always the first one to get cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a clear priority system.
Yes.
So international first.
Yeah, if you're not going to New York or LA, you're last.
Yeah,
on the list.
big plane second, and if you're on a little scrub plane going to Charleston,
Sucks.
get out of here, dude.
Yep.
Beat it.
Yep.
Yeah, just cancel those people. We don't give a fuck.
Yep. It do be like that.
It's consistently the airlines pay more for a declining product.
They what now?
And you don't have a choice. You pay more for a worse offering.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that's why like I'll fly like Allegiant once in a while. I've actually been flying them quite a bit lately.
I don't do that.
Well, I can fly like a king with them for half the price that I pay with American.
How's flying like a king work?
I am like they treat me like God because I pay $200 instead of $80.
Oh, because you get some of the options. Like
if
I would like a water bottle.
If I want to go,
yes, I do have legs.
If I want to go from Allentown to Nashville, that's the only direct flight option.
They have a direct flight?
Like Sundays and Thursdays. Sunday morning and night, Thursday morning and night.
Uh-huh.
So it almost never works out. But they have a lot of other options. Like I flew from Jacksonville home with them. But if I want to pay for every single thing that I can, if I want to spend the most amount of money I can spend to go from Allentown to here, it's like $283. And I get all my check bags for free. They're like rolling out the red carpet everywhere I go. Oh yeah, you can get on the plane before all the handicapped people. Go for it. And then like all my bags go in the overhead, and like all if I want food or something, they'll hook me up. They'll rub my feet for me.
Is there any?
They'll steam my jacket.
Is there anybody
nice.
Anybody on that flight?
It's usually packed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's a vacation. It's for people on a budget that want to go on vacation. That's what it is.
Almost everybody.
And I'm usually the only business person on the plane.
It's so wild. Yeah, that is why the airport sucks here. Because everybody's
It's always vacation.
It's all people coming in.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that comes here for business.
To just binge drink.
Yep.
For a weekend.
Yep. And I'm just like, get out of my way. I'm trying to do my job.
That's where I do wish, and I know they have this, it's called private, but I wish there was a separate lane and everything for people that do it regularly. Like they used to do that back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my dad traveled for business
class.
20 years. Yeah, it was business class, first class. And it was a whole different world, a different experience.
Yep.
It was sick.
Yep.
Like they hook you up every step of the way.
Yep.
Nowadays, you have a business class ticket? Who gives a shit?
Yep.
You are nothing. Get in line.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, soon enough, the Build Witt branded G5 or G6.
Yes, I was looking at them when I was in Savannah the other day. Which one do I want? What kind of paint scheme would we go with? Would we put cow spots on the G650? Or would we just paint it?
What if we bought
like a stealth bomber?
So what if we bought, instead of a G6, what if we went to like Gov Planet and got like a used C-130? You think that's an option?
I don't know if your flight hours would be any cheaper.
Do they have?
We could take the skid steer anywhere.
I wonder if they have planes on.
I don't know. I feel like you need to pass a background check to go buy a C-130. You could probably buy a C-130 though.
Planes. Military surplus aircraft and parts for sale.
Because I know private companies buy Chinook helicopters.
Yeah.
And Blackhawks.
It's all just like parts and stuff.
No.
1968 Piper PA-28 prop plane. It ends in 11 minutes. Do you want to bid on it? Oh, it's in Tennessee. Oh, this is the one. This is it, guys.
How much is it?
Oh, the wing is, it looks like, this one's been wrecked.
Okay.
Oh, this one's been very wrecked.
All right, so that's not going to work.
The unit sustained storm damage on March 3rd, 2023. Has been reported that this unit includes damage, but is not limited to all of the plane.
Okay, no. Just Google C-130 for sale.
Yeah, that's a good idea. C-130 for...
Because we could, if we had a C-130, you could put the pickup truck in there.
Yeah, you could do everything. There's 2 for sale from controller.com.
Problem with the C-130s is the military runs the really old ones too.
Yeah, so there's a 1962 Lockheed Hercules C-130 for lease available, and it's in West Palm Beach. I don't know what that costs.
You know, Drake has a commercial airliner.
He does?
Yes.
I can see that.
I feel like it's like a 757. It's a huge plane.
I feel like you kind of have to when you have that much money. You need that kind of tax write-off.
Well, but I don't think he has 757 money. I think it's owned by somebody else and just leased to him. But it's one of the nicest private planes that anybody else in the U.S. sites. But then you get to like the royal families in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And the kind of stuff they have. They have whole 747s.
I feel like I'd much rather have a C-130. Nobody will put a price on it.
So you wouldn't have to talk to anybody during your flight because it's so fucking loud?
Yeah.
What?
No, yeah.
What?
I mean, it would just be sick to be able to have a plane like that.
You could skydive to wherever you need to go.
Yeah. What other kind of military aircraft would I want to buy?
Chinook, for sure.
I feel like it'd be a lot easier to get. It's got to be.
A Chinook? You can put a skid steer in?
You can carry one.
Yeah, or you could carry one.
Chinook for sale.
Either way.
Woof. Okay, I don't know if we're going to be able to afford one of these.
What is it, like $15 million?
It's like $64 million.
$64 million? No way.
Oh my God.
They're that expensive?
I mean, when you think about it, it is a pretty, here's one for 25 used.
Well, yeah, I'd figured it would be used.
You
used one owner.
Oh, here's one in 2013 that sold for 3.
Yeah, I feel like they're cheaper. That must be a bougie
salvage
one.
item.
Yeah. That $64 million one, though, that probably has like...
It's probably the new price for one.
Well, it probably has like recliner seats in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the executive package.
There's an RC one for $110.
Okay,
that might be a little more in
that's
our
in our
price range.
budget. Yeah. Does it? What's its lifting capacity?
Doesn't Heavy D have a Blackhawk?
They're a few $1 million. I mean, it's an expensive
Sikorsky UH-60.
And those drink.
Damn, these
fuel.
are from the 60s. I didn't realize these were that old. I don't know anything about aircraft.
Yeah, the helicopters they use nowadays, they're still pretty damn old.
Man, this company in West Palm Beach has got some cool shit for sale.
This company in Montana.
That's so sick. That's what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
Just flying with napalm exploding in the background.
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do. But this company in Montana, they buy them in parts and they build them.
Okay.
And sell them. So if you really wanted one.
What about a little bird?
No, guy. A little bird would be nice. You could get anywhere with a little bird.
Connell Douglas turbine helicopters for sale. $1.1 million. Let's do it.
So you and one other person could fly wherever you want.
4 people.
4 people. Okay, great. With 2 people on the skids.
And you have to refuel every 45 minutes.
What?
Probably something like that.
Yeah, they're not exactly long range birds, are they?
Well, that's how much they were refueling when they were cutting.
What?
Because they use these to cut the power lines.
They use little birds for that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they carry the saws with.
So, yeah.
So I guess if you were traveling with it and you weren't carrying a payload, it'd probably be more like a 2.5 hour trip.
So, but
anybody that's familiar with aircraft is probably just like cringing at us talking about this right now. Like these fucking idiots.
But what they do for power lines is they basically just have this stick that they have below it with a rope.
Yep.
With saw blades all the way down the stick.
Yeah.
And they just drag that down all of the tree line along the power lines, slicing like you'd think would work in a movie, slicing all the trees off, clear the right of way.
And it works. They do a lot of it. It's really sketchy.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's like back in the day. Midwest Services wasn't doing it, was they?
No, they do it all the time, and the Rotor Blade does it in South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah. It's hella sketch.
Okay. Have we talked enough about stuff we don't understand?
I think we've been there.
Okay. Well,
that's a pod.
That's a pod.
We did a pod.
Thanks for listening, everybody.